Fran, the zone, I guess in the last 8 minutes, it seemed to frustrate their offense. What did it do well?
You know what, I think, Rob, we played it better. Our activity, our cohesion, we played in the first half without that level of success. We were just a little, kind of like our man defense was. We were a little bit step slow. It's a quick team. But you have to be, whether you're man or zone, you got to be down in your stance and you got to stay down there for the entire possession, or you're going to get blown by. And so I just thought we did a better job guarding dribble penetration in the zone, and not bumping unnecessarily, staying matched, and then talling up when the penetration came, so you're not putting them on the free throw line.
Fran, is this just sort of, if you're going to start 4 freshmen, you're going to have nights like this, or is it something else that you see?
Well, I think what you have to do is not jump to that type of thinking. I think you have to give more respect to our opponent and the job that Coach Peichel is doing with that program. They're a different team defensively, and they're a different team offensively. 19 offensive rebounds, they out-rebounded us, they turned us 18 times. You got to credit those kids from Rutgers for that.
Seem pretty athletic too. I mean,
they're long and they're athletic, and he can go small. He can play, Williams, Johnson, and Sanders, or he can go big and play Dom at the small forward. He's 6'9", and then they bring in 7-footers, 2 of them, and a 6'11" guy off the bench, and he's rotating those guys. So he's got fresh bodies flying at the glass. It's a tough team to rebound against.
After Dom broke the scoring drought or whatever, everything seemed to be more active, like a flip switch. Was there anything you saw specifically that was different? Or
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was him. He was the man today. I mean, he was a difference in the game without question. Dom Ewell, I'm so proud of him. I should have played him more in the second half the other night. It was one of those games where we kind of had a lineup and we stuck with that group. You go back and you break down the film and see what the guys did right and wrong, and you see what you did right and wrong. And I felt comfortable with that group, and they fought for me. But, maybe another fresh body and a guy who played well enough in the first half to come back in, and he could have hung his head. He had a terrific practice yesterday, and I just thought he earned the opportunity to get more minutes, and that's the reason we won.
I know he didn't score, but it seems like Christian Williams, his link kind of caused.
And I told him that. I think he was down, especially because he made that incredible steal, and then he missed the layup. I think that really upset him. But he impacted both ends. When he came in, I thought his activity level and his ability to push the ball was really good.
A couple hours before the game, Dom was out there shooting by himself. Didn't look like a guy who was down on his game. Looked like a guy who was trying to work his way out of it.
And that's the professionalism that you always hope to have on your team. It would have been real easy for him, Rick, to get mad at me and, make excuses. He just kept working. He's here 2 hours early and working on, whacks a 3 as soon as we put him in.
What is your approach when you have a player who's slumping a little bit and struggling to kind of get in a rhythm? How do you handle it? Do you even talk to them, or you just let them get out of it on their own?
A little bit of both. Sometimes you leave them alone. Sometimes you sit them down. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 encouraging things. When it's all said and done, it will always be a positive approach in that situation. Because he's already struggling a little bit about certain things. So he doesn't need me to be negative, or my coaching staff. So we'll just stay positive with him, encourage his effort level, because he gives you that every day. And we've all seen him play this well, and it'll be a big impact on our team if he continues to do that.
How hard is it, or is it hard at all, to bounce back from a game like Thursday that's so draining?
It's funny, Mike, because I've been asked that question so many times in the last 3 days. And when I was first asked the question, it was like, do you think there's going to be a hangover? I mean, hangover for what? We lost. So there should never be a hangover. You should be hungry and ready to get back to work and ready to fight. But everybody seems to keep asking me the same question, because clearly they think that was a possibility, and then we don't play well in the first half. So it sort of looks like, well, maybe they just weren't quite ready. But, again, I mean, I thought we were ready. I thought Rutgers was ready too.
Do you think that's tired legs though in the first half?
I thought there was one stretch where Pete was tired and we got him, and there was one stretch where Bear was tired and we got him. The rest of the guys didn't play enough minutes to be tired, in my opinion.
Is it a confidence thing at all with Dom? Sometimes it seems like once he gets going,
You know, it's always going to be a confidence thing at some level. And how do you feel about yourself? You know, you always hear, sometimes you just have to see the ball go in once or twice. And when he came in, he made impact plays immediately, and that really changed it for him. Because then, I mean, his impact defensively in this game was tremendous. And the thing that you don't realize sometimes, I mean, you guys have been around, so you probably do, but we play him at 3, 4, and 5, and he's always in the right place, and that's a lot harder than people think. Some guys just can't do that. They just can't. Even though they have the ability to play 3 positions, they just can't remember 3 positions, and they're ineffective. So they end up being poor at all 3 of them rather than good at one of them. But he can equally do all 3, and it doesn't seem to be a problem for him.
Do you see this kind of game maybe getting him going? Maybe you'll have more of this, the same? from him
Absolutely.
coming?
I mean, that's my plan and my hope, and I think it's obviously his hope for himself.
When you start 4 freshmen, do you expect some inconsistency? I mean, these guys aren't finished products and are going through the Big Ten for the first time.
What I expect is not perfect execution, but I expect consistency of effort. Okay, so I didn't feel like we got consistency of effort on a few possessions early. They didn't fight to get to the front, didn't sprint back, turn and wall off their speed. And so that's what I addressed at halftime. We were much better in the second half at that.
When you kind of struggled to score early in the second half, how helpful is it to get some turnovers, get some easy buckets, and it kind of snowballs?
Well, it's absolutely crucial that you create some offense with your defense, because you're stifling their offense a little bit, because they were cooking there for a while, and then you get some easy baskets, and then the lead shrinks and everybody settles down, and then you can grind it. You look up there and you're down 3 or 4. It's a lot different when you're down 9.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coach.